Hey, you're listening to the Boston Celtics newsfeed on CLNS Radio. Matt Agall here alongside Evan Valenti and Zaire to discuss that brutal Cavs game. Welcome inside, everyone. This is Celtics Roundtable. You know, I'm trying to decide whether this blowout loss to the Cavs in the most important game of the year, where both teams were tied and fighting for that number one seed. It's the closest you're going to get to a playoff game in terms of importance, a game that clearly was very important for the Celtics, and they just laid an absolute egg, allowing Cleveland to take a one-game lead, to take the season series 3-1, and now become the clear favorite for the top seed and have home court advantage in the East. So I'm trying to decide if this is just one game, or if the part of my brain that I've been trying to suppress, the part that's worried about the Celtics still just being a nice regular season story, but a team that is not built to win in the playoffs. Zaire, as the optimist of the bunch, I need your help here because I might need a lobotomy after seeing playoff LeBron destroy my dreams once again.
Okay, here's your positivity, all right? First of all, the C's have gone 23-5 in their last 28 home games. All right, that's after a 5-5 start at home. They have been rocking and rolling at the crib. I think Cleveland had something to prove almost as much as Boston did. You know, Boston needs to show that it's legitimate. But Cleveland had to show, like, you know what, guys, let's go all out. And they've done that the last two games against Orlando and against Boston. LeBron James is playing playoff minutes these days when he probably shouldn't be, because it's needed, because they've been miserable. The Cavs they've had 4 28-point losses or more this year, 3 of them in the last month. And I'm not putting too much stock into this basketball game as much as I probably should. I'm not, because
why not though? Like, this is a huge test for the Celtics, and they completely failed. They laid a huge egg, as Matt said. Like, this is an opportunity for them to prove that they belong on the stage. They just got destroyed by Cleveland, who's been wavering as of lately. This is supposed to be a game Boston's supposed to handle.
Let me tell you why. They have 2 series to play to get to Cleveland. This game will not matter in those 2 series. But if you're clicking, if the momentum is right, everything can change when that Eastern Conference Finals come.
My question is, like, the bench wasn't this bad all season. There is time.
Yes, they were. Play well. They were. The bench has been this bad. This is what I've been saying all year long. This bench needs a solid scorer, and it doesn't have it. So the argument that everyone else has been making has changed over the season. I have stayed consistent, all right? The argument that everybody was making, Isaiah, he's allowing too many points on defense. And now the argument is, Isaiah's great on offense and everybody else sucks. Okay, it's been the same team all year long. Isaiah Thomas scores a bulk of points.
I just don't remember the bench being, like, well, I guess it's magnified because nobody else shot well. Like, when Avery Bradley shoots 1 of 8, like, they're just.
Yeah. No, I mean, he plays a lot with that bench, and Smart's going through an awful streak, which is really just who he is, just like a hot streak and then a terrible streak. And his hot streaks aren't that hot. His cold streaks are just miserable. I mean,
it's not a. What did I say? It's not a streak when it happens every day, man. It's not a streak.
His career arc might be Andre Roberson.
It's a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle, man. He's a horrible shooter. And Terry Rozier needs to be helping the main Red Claws play in the playoffs. They need a championship there, and he can get some big minutes in some championship situation. You know what I'm saying? But, maybe they got better by subtraction because they didn't win the playoff game last year, and he was on the squad, right?
Oh, my goodness, Zaire. Like, you're flaming hot.
What do we say when Cleveland goes, and they play the Hawks soon? We play the Hawks next, but I think Cleveland plays the Hawks. What do we say if Cleveland plays the Hawks again and gives up another 120 points again? What do we say then? Cleveland's not playing their best basketball they're not playing their basketball.
Well, no, but certainly this game, this is exactly the type of regular season game that you do look to sort of, I guess, see what a team's really made of. And it was just kind of shocking to me to see that the Celtics just lay such an egg, like to be so non-physical on the glass or really just on the defensive end at all. In fact, having poor communication throughout. Like, this was a game that the Celtics definitely should have been hyped for. And I don't know if it's because they just didn't get into an offensive rhythm at the start and they really never got into one the entire game, or because The first possession of the game, they gave up offensive rebounds, and they just weren't able to find the juice today. Maybe it's just bad luck in that sense. But I just expected a better effort, I guess I want to say, for a game that seemed to be so meaningful for the Celtics.
You're right. They got played in every aspect, right? They got outplayed in every aspect. But what I'm saying is that
at the first quarter, they were doing well in the first quarter.
At the end of the
they
were
first, lucky in the first quarter.
Yeah, at the end of the first. But follow what I'm saying is that this team, like what you saw tonight, this happens in many NBA seasons for many teams. This is nothing new. But the key is that yes, Cleveland out-rebounded them, and Cleveland did this, and Cleveland did that. But what's the one thing that happened tonight that's the most important thing that happens to the Boston Celtics when the Boston Celtics do not hit shots, they lose. You know what I'm saying? And tonight, they had two guys that were on, and everybody else was on vacation somewhere. Because if you look at the halftime stat box alone, I'm looking at Avery Bradley, Marcus Smart, Jaylen Brown, Terry Rozier, and Jay Crowder were combined 3 for 20 in the first half. Yeah. So if you're shooting like that, you can't overcome the fact that Cleveland's going to out-rebound. Cleveland should out-rebound you anyway. They got Kevin Love, and yeah, I know Tristan Thompson wasn't there, but they got Kevin Love and LeBron James, and those guys get a lot of rebounds. Okay, so you're going to have that problem, but you got to make shots, and we didn't make shots tonight, and that's the biggest issue. When this team doesn't make shots, they lose.
Yeah, I mean, Brad Stevens said at halftime that he was pretty happy with the sort of looks that they got. He was more upset about their defense, that the communication was pretty terrible. You saw it a bunch of times, just like leading to just the Celtics getting backdoored, and sometimes they didn't help at all. Sometimes they overhelped, which led to open threes for the Cavs. They failed to impact the ball entirely on defense. The Cavs had like 5 turnovers. It's just plain old not good enough on both ends, really.
And here's the key with a guy like Marcus Smart, who everybody loves. That guy was nowhere in sight tonight on either side of the court.
Brutal.
So
Kelly Olynyk was perhaps even more brutal.
Well, he has no chance in pick and roll against LeBron. You can't expect that.
Goodness,
it's just impossible. They ran that so many times on the end of the floor. It was like there was just where's Kelly Olynyk? Okay, let's get him on LeBron. Boom, done. See ya.
Things can change when you're playing playoff series. And one thing I like right now is seeing LeBron James log all these minutes right now, because I feel like this, man. It's like, come on, dude. This can't last forever.
I'm not betting against LeBron this year. No one should. No one should.
No one should, but man, it's just like they say, Father Time is undefeated, man. And I'm looking at this and I'm like, okay, I know that one thing that you saw about old school LeBron, when he had to carry the load by himself, fatigue would set in, and the Boston Celtics would take advantage of it. So all I'm saying is that, man, I'm cool. Like, play 40 minutes, LeBron. Keep doing what you're doing, bro. I'm cool with that. But I don't feel like totally negative about. I mean, this is a bad game. That's all it is, and that's how the Celtics have to look at it. What can we learn from the night? We know what we did. We know we crapped the bed. Let's go on, forget this, and play good basketball.
Right. I do question why Tyronn Lue had LeBron James played 39 minutes in this game. That seems a little crazy. But I just look, the C's, I've said this before, that when they can't survive really bad shooting nights against the top, teams in the Eastern Conference. They just can't. When you get behind early, it's easy to kind of just fall apart defensively and to have it snowball. And when you're not playing good defense, sometimes it snowballs in the offensive end. But this team, I think it was a focus thing tonight, which sounds crazy. I think they got a little shook by Cleveland, especially in the second quarter, and where it just kind of that deer in headlights look. It's what it felt like. Am I wrong, Matt? Does that feel like that to you?
I mean, I'm with you, and what stands out just looking at this box score is that the Cavs plus minus are all pretty good. LeBron James a plus 31, which just dwarfs everybody else's on the Cavs. So they clearly had no answer for him, and I think a lot of that was, a little bit of deer in the headlights, not communicating the right way.
Did Jay Crowder look weird? Or is that just me? Like, LeBron beat him in a lot of one-on-one, just like straight drives to the basket. I just didn't. You never see that out of Jay. Right.
I mean, LeBron was great. When he's playing great, you have very little chance of beating the Cavs anyway. I mean, 36 points on 22 shots from him. Like, let's give credit where it's due. It wasn't all Celtics. It was LeBron just exerting his will. And yeah, he was able to push through Jay and to go by him. He happens to be still one of the fastest humans in the world, and one of the strongest as well. So, I'm not surprised that the Celtics got spanked when LeBron did that much. Hey, I got a question. What makes SeatGeek so great? Well, I'll tell you, because the season is winding down, the playoff push is heating up. Maybe the Celtics will get the 2 seed. Maybe still they got a chance to get that 1 seed. I don't know. They got a chance, though. So what do we do when we want Celtics tickets is we power up the SeatGeek ticketing app on our phones. And with just 2 taps, we know we found the best deal because SeatGeek is both the smartest and easiest way to get tickets to every game. With their seamless mobile experience, you can buy and sell tickets in mere seconds. And it doesn't end with the Celtics or any other NBA game. SeatGeek also has plenty of concert, comedy, and theater tickets available too. And it's all fully guaranteed. Listeners to CLNS Radio can support this production and get a $20 rebate off their first SeatGeek purchase. Here's how. You download the free SeatGeek app, you go to the Settings tab and click Add a Promo Code. Then you enter the promo code CELTSNEWS, all one word, and SeatGeek will send you $20 after you've made your first ticket purchase. Download the free SeatGeek app and enter the promo code CELTSNEWS today. Still, this game, it does mean something to me. Like, this was a game for the Celtics to play a certain way, to at least play hard, and it's just
disappointing. This is the game, Matt, you and I argued about this in the podcast beforehand. This is like the most important game of the Brad Stevens era in the regular season. Like, and they completely choked on it.
Right. I mean, Evan, like, I can go back to my opening question here. Like, does this sort of show that the Celtics, or at least are you a little bit more worried after tonight that the Celtics aren't really built to win in the playoffs?
Is this really shocking that Boston might struggle against Cleveland in the series? Is that really a shocking development? No. So this is not a shocking development. It's just shocking how bad Boston looked in this game, and Cleveland embarrassed them.
Well, your Twitter hater is right that we need to wait till the playoffs to really have a final judgment on this team, but certainly a bad omen tonight. Go ahead, Zaire.
You got to look at this for what it is. It's a bad game. Cleveland is not this much better than Boston.
No, and the Celtics will play better. They'll hit their shots at least.
I'm hearing that Jay Crowder is having problems with something again, so that may have been bothering him too because they say he's playing in pain. So that may have been bothering him tonight. But that has nothing to do with Avery Bradley going 1 for 8, Marcus Smart going 1 for 8, or whatever he went. Of course, again, Jaylen Brown. I mean, 1 for 7. Thanks, rookie. It's just it was a bad night. It was a bad effort on both sides of the ball. Defensively and offensively, it's just a bad game, and you have those. The Lakers, when they had Shaq and Kobe, they had bad games, but you forget them. That's what good teams do. You forget them.
This shooting streak has to end. I mean, it's just they are. I didn't think they were this bad of a shooting team when they were playing unbelievably good offense in the middle of the season, and this is just. I mean, the Cavs' defense is notoriously bad. It shouldn't be something that Boston shoots as poorly from. Like, this is just like a rhythm and a funk thing, and it's taken over everybody. Even Isaiah fell victim on Wednesday night. That 1 for 8 was brutal from 3-point range.
But you know what? I'm not going to trip on those Isaiah's 1 for 8. Yeah, that 1 for 8 is bad.
No, he was the only guy that could score. He's the only guy that could score.
He was in the positive for a lot of the game tonight. When you really look at it.
He was the only guy that could score for Boston. That's the only guy I wanted to touch the ball, basically. In the third quarter, I was like, just have Isaiah take a bunch of shots, and hopefully he gets hot and gets you back in this thing. That's what it became to me.
He played well. Al Horford, I thought, played solid. Yeah. And Amir Johnson gave you something, but everybody else sucked. Everybody else sucked. I mean, I know Kelly had 12, but whatever, Kelly. This is
Again, you can't in the playoffs, short memory, man. It's like a closer in a baseball game. You have a short memory, you forget it immediately, you get on with it, and you come back the next day. You work harder, you execute better, and you keep going forward. Like, you just can't let a game like this drag you down, because if it does, you're totally screwed.
All right, the Celtics are on to Atlanta, and we'll be out of here in just a second. Evan's actually going to have Dan Greenberg of Barstool Sports on tomorrow. All right, so that'll do it here at Celtics Roundtable. Why don't you give us a follow on Twitter? That's at CLNS Roundtable, and you can help us out in a big way by going to iTunes and giving the Boston Celtics newsfeed 5 stars. We really appreciate that. Use the promo code CELTSNEWS, all one word, on your next SeatGeek purchase for a $20 rebate. Thanks for tuning in today. We'll see you tomorrow.